All right, this is Bubba back for the debut episode of the
Wonder of the Seas.
Wonder of the Seas cruise review. That I was not on this one, Brent was, so he'll be doing the heavy lifting on this one. This one's going to be talking about entertainment. We're going to do the daytime and the nighttime, so go ahead and get them all together. And to me, like I would say, what I would characterize that war equivalent in general, having the best main production shows, but struggling with the secondary type stuff. That's my personal opinion.
I think that's pretty standard, accurate assessment, regardless of the ship.
Yeah. So go ahead and
because different ships, obviously, you're not going to have. This is the Wonder of the Seas, which has it's an Oasis class ship.
Yeah.
You know, it's got things that some ships don't have. So the ice skating ring is something that a lot of them have. But the first thing I'll talk about, which was my favorite show. And believe it or not, our son's favorite show was the Aqua Theater, called Intense. And a little pointer here on this thing. This is an outdoor show, okay? It says high metal beams, they jump. So if it's rainy, windy, lightning in the area, they will cancel this show. So if you see it, then they show it like multiple times throughout the week. Yeah. So if you see it and you want to go, you might as well just go with that year, because there's no guarantee that on your time that it's not going to be bad weather. We did see one show canceled. Luckily, it was sort of the makeup show where if you didn't get to see it, you come see it. But they canceled it. People waited an hour, then they canceled it.
So that's something you need to do early in the week.
If you can do it, they'll do it first night. They do it the first night without reservations. But another thing is, I did reservations minutes after they were online. Didn't have to do reservations. They never checked them. Most of the shows were half empty, which was a shock. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that's probably a bigger picture topic there, but I was shocked when you told me that that the crowds were, like, in general, what you say, half full?
Half to 3/4. Yeah, they didn't even check in reservations. They didn't really have people there checking them.
So when you got 6,400 passengers and you got your venues aren't full, that's
the ship's full, but they're not at the shows. And they do show them multiple times. Where maybe just people do them other times, it splits up the crowd, or people don't care. Maybe I don't know. They've took a lot of the big names. You're not going to see your Shreks and people like that, where it's all generic type stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's called Intense, and I believe, without confirming this, it was an all-female cast, and we all believe that, and I believe I've read that online, which was kind of neat, I guess. But our son and all children typically love this show. Very high energy. Very loud music, very bright.
Is it still mostly diving, or they do other stuff?
No, this was different stuff. They did stuff in the pool. They did a little bit of diving, only one big high dive. They have a lady that comes through on trapezes in the air and spins around and does all this stuff. So it was our son, 4-year-old, who can't sit still for anything longer than 30 minutes, sat there the whole hour almost with his mouth open clapping. I mean, he was just like, and other children like that too. It was probably one of the better shows I've ever seen. It'll keep your attention, and good music, which you're not going to recognize the songs, but it's still high energy type music. So the next one would be the show at the skating ring, the 365, the Seasons on Ice. This is kind of like you would think, fall, winter, summer, that type stuff. So spring type stuff. So it's in that, they put the images on the ice and they do the things. And our son loved it as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's always a neat show.
You're going to find this show or ice shows on more Royal Caribbean ships than the Aqua Theater shows. Because they don't have it.
Because so many ships do have the ice skating.
Yeah, so it's always a highlight. We almost went and saw it twice, but just got so distracted. So just had other things to do. Voices. This is I would call a pentatonics type show where the cast makes the music instruments with their mouth and sings, and very talented, great show. Good. I mean, I like that kind of stuff because that's actual talent going on.
There. So it's more of a modern type.
It is. Show. We liked it. The one show I did miss next would be called Tap Factory, which is a tap show, which we just had dinner, went late, and started talking to the people beside us, and it wasn't real top of the priority list. We were going to go back, but just didn't show it again. Another show. Go ahead.
Oh, well, on that Voices show, I was going to say that another good thing about that one is that's kind of blends genres, which is a good thing.
They did, ship. Yeah. It did, and it was hard not to like it. I did find myself, it was late, and we were tired from, I don't know, whatever we were doing. I found myself dozing off a little bit, but it wasn't because of the show.
Yeah.
Effectors 2, which apparently is a sequel to the original Effectors show, which was on the Odyssey when it debuted, and it has a lot of things, but it's a superhero type show, believe it or not. Which for the first 30 minutes, our son was really into it.
Yeah.
But then he got distracted and tired with it. But I mean, but yeah, he liked it. It was. I wouldn't say it was made for kids, but it certainly was geared toward kids. But I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, you had the bad guy.
It was that in the main theater.
Main theater, yeah, some special effects and drums.
And how big was the main theater roughly?
Big enough. Never had trouble getting a seat. I mean, it was 2 decks high, or more than 2 decks. But you had 2 levels of seating.
Did you have good view to the stage?
Yeah, we went up top most of the time just so we could sneak out. And this, that, and the other. So yeah, no complaint. But like I said, most of the shows were empty. So I mean, or half empty. So karaoke. Here's the complaint. The next 2 will be complaints. The karaoke. It's a very small venue for 6,400 people. I mean, I would go by most nights. It was really crowded, and they tried to cram the game shows in there too, and it was crowded. I never ran in it because it just seemed too crowded, too hot, too many people.
Yeah, those game shows are always popular because it's.
And I understand you've got stuff going on and all the things, and you don't have a lot of venues for that, I guess, is the problem, The Quest, they did the Quest. It was in the ice ring, which is where it usually is. And it's a good spot.
I assume you didn't go to that.
I saw some of it, yeah.
Is it still dirty?
I thought it had been tamed down. I thought it was, definitely COVID was not an issue during it. So, I mean, everybody's crammed in there. And I went in there and I thought it was tamed down.
I think they quit like having them run up to the first one there. Like they used to be like first one there got 10.
No, that's what they did.
Oh, really?
They had them here. The cruise director stood in the middle and bring me, something.
So they stood at the old school.
Yeah, it was back. Yeah, bring me a souvenir that said Roatan. I remember that was one of them. So everybody's sprinting up there, that kind of stuff. So I mean, the thing about it is, once you've seen one of those, you've seen them all. Yeah. And at about the 10th or 15th time, it sort of doesn't thrill me either way. But I did go just to see what it was all about. A parade for your children, the Anchors Away Parade. They show it twice. If your kids like parades with dancing, this, that, and the other, we've got some pictures of this too. But gone are the days of the Shrek parade. Budget cuts have caused Shrek to be, and Puss in Boots are gone.
R.P. Shrek.
So, but kids like it. They don't care about that stuff. I mean, I'm sure they'd like to see their characters, but it was, it was a good little parade. The one complaint I saw from a lot of people on the ship was the lack of a nightclub, or that sometimes they had a nightclub in the ice rink, which is sort of weird, and there wasn't really a designated spot for it. And there's a few places they move it around, but a lot of people complain about them rolling the sidewalks up at 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah. But I mean, it's not a party type club. It's a family cruise. That one is.
Yeah, but so you're saying did they have for us? Like after the main shows, did they have your deck parties and things like that?
Yeah, they do those things in the Royal Promenade.
But their deck parties are generally pretty lame.
Well, they don't have deck parties. It is a Royal Promenade party, and it's too many people for me. It's just crammed full. They're dancing to 70s. They had a 70s one. They have a Caribbean one, and it's just too many people and too tight a spot for me, and it's hot and crowded. I just don't care for them. And up top, at least you can breathe in those things.
Right.
Doing it indoors, and there's more places outdoors, but they never did anything up top. So, but that's the entertainment. I mean, the ship, the Royal Caribbean will shine in entertainment in your ship. That's typically what it is, especially the bigger ships.
Right.
No exception here.
How about pool day? I mean, how about sea day activities during the day?
No activities during the day that I found. I mean, they did have World's Sexiest Man. They had.
Did they still have volleyball at the pools? Do you remember?
I didn't see that. I think they did last time. They do have the basketball court, and they have some pickleball.
The basketball things are just filled full of teenagers. So
yeah, it was definitely. I'm too old for that stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we didn't do anything during the day other than this Effector show was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We watched it. It was a remake because we missed it the day before.
And we're probably a little bit opposite, where I think a lot of people just like to lay around in the sun, and whereas like me and you both like to be doing something.
Yeah.
So that's probably, for like there are two sides of the.
And we had a balcony too, so we were able to kind of chill on it a little bit too. So, but that's the entertainment. So you won't go wrong with entertainment. I mean, it's probably going to be the best shows you ever see for us, big shows on any show. And that's the case for me. They're always the top shows are there. So. But gone are the days of the big Broadway plays. You're not going to get cast in musical.
Did they didn't have any what we call Broadway?
I think the Tap Factory was kind of like that. So, but like I said, we missed it. So, but yeah, that's it. Great entertainment.
Like and subscribe.